When I first got into gaming, the games that came out of Japan were a mystery to me, especially if they never made it across the pond. So there were so many that released in Japan on the Famicom that I never played until I was significantly older. What's going on, everybody? I'm Jay. Welcome to Square Pegs. Today, there's no real mystery anymore. You're able to emulate Famicom games easily. There are systems like the Retron 5 that plays Famicom games natively, and you can buy classic Famicom systems on sites like eBay or just at video game conventions, and the games aren't hard to find and they're not expensive. Even with that accessibility now in place, the Famicom still remains a mystery for a lot of people, and there's a huge library over there of games that people have never played. Today, I want to go through 10 games on the Famicom that I enjoy that you may have overlooked, maybe you've never even heard of. So let's take a look now at 10 awesome games on the Famicom that you might not have heard of. On the surface, Robako Wars is a simple platformer. You play as an adorable little robot going left to right, fighting bad guys. It's a traditional platformer in the NES sense, and it works. Like, it's a really good game. Where the creativity comes in with this one, though, is that your robot changes forms depending on what stage you're in. If you're in the train form, you're stuck to the ground. You're moving left to right, that's it. But there's also undersea levels where you turn into a submarine, and airplane levels where you turn into an airplane. It's great, and it turns kind of into a little bit of a shmup. It's a really fun game. This is a really excellent title, and one I'm honestly kind of surprised we never got in the States because it seems tailor-made for a Western audience. Like, it's really similar to a lot of other games that we had gotten here in the States, and something that looks like it would have been really popular here, and frankly, playing it, it should be. It's a fantastic game, and it's incredibly fun, and it's seriously charming. Like, I love the look of the game, the music in the game is really good, and the controls are really solid. It's a really excellent little title that unfortunately never made its way west, and that's a shame because I think this would have been a massive hit. I simply adore the fever dream that is Star Wars from Namcot on the Famicom, because this is Star Wars in name only. Like, there are definitely familiar aspects. You're playing as Luke Skywalker, you know who that is. He's got a lightsaber from Jump, which did not happen. Darth Vader turns into a scorpion, which did not happen. And the enemies in the game are not enemies from the Star Wars universe. They are clearly assets from another game that Namcot just tossed in because, hey, why not? We got the Star Wars license. We can do whatever the hell we want. This game is ridiculous. It is an absolute fever dream, as I said at the start, but I love it. It is wonderful. It's ridiculous. It's silly. It's incredibly challenging. Like, this is one that I wish would have come over just so we could have seen the look on people's face with how ridiculous of a game it is. Is it perfect? No, not by any stretch of the imagination is it perfect, but I do think there's a solid amount of gameplay here and a really fun challenge that kind of sets itself apart from other games that we got on the NES. And with something that was tailor-made for a Western audience like Star Wars, this really should have come over here. I would have loved to have seen this on shelves. It's such a fun game. Had to toss at least a little bit of love towards the Famicom Disk System. This is Golf Force, a fantastic vertical shmup that I love. I think it's wonderful. It's very difficult. It is not for the weak at heart. It is a very hard game, but boy, is it fun. So you control a traditional spaceship, and as you go, you're going to have waves of enemies coming at you. You're going to collect power-ups. You're able to blow up both the enemies that are coming at you and flying at you, as well as enemies on the ground that are stationary. And as you go, it's not like a traditional shmup where you take a hit and you're done. You actually will start to lose pieces of your ship, which make it perform a little bit differently. It's a really fascinating game, and it's incredibly well designed. It's really, really fun. The music in the game is excellent. The controls are solid. Like, I mean, it's a shmup, so you don't really have to worry too much about the controls, but it feels solid and it feels consistent in hand, and I think that's a really remarkable thing. Absolutely excellent game, a wonderful example of what the Famicom Disk System was capable of, and something that to me is just kind of the epitome of perfection for a shmup on the NES or the Famicom. Again, I need to thank my friend Lindsay's son, Victor, for introducing me to this game. This is Joy Mech Fight. This is legitimately the best fighting game on the Famicom or the NES. It's absolutely brilliant. You can play it now on the Nintendo Switch Online service, if you so choose, because it's amazing, and you should. It's wonderful. So you start off as a single robot, and as you go through, you're going to fight other robots that are kind of like, they animate kind of like Dynamite Heady, and you're going to use different combos and different button attacks and things like that to fight them, to knock them out 3 times, and then you get control of that robot. So as you play, your robot army grows, and you're going to have all these different robots that play a little bit differently, that have different attacks, different abilities, different speeds, things like that, that you're going to be able to utilize and play as. And normally, fighting games on the NES are just a bad idea. Like, TMNT Tournament Fighters is shit on the NES. Joy Mech Fight is absolutely brilliant. It is one of the best fighting experiences I've had on any system. Like, it's that good. Check this one out if you haven't. It is absolutely brilliant. Oh, Konami, how do I miss you as a fantastic developer? I sure do, man. This is YY World 2, and this is from the Konami crossover series, where Konami just took everything that they loved and shoved it all into one game. You get to play as a bunch of different characters. So your main protagonist is a character called Rickle. He's a robot created by Dr. Cinnamon. That's all you need to know. But you also get a ton of other characters you can play as. You get Goemon, Simon Belmont, Getsu Fuma from the game Getsu Fuma Den, Upa, the baby hero from Biomiracle Bokute Upa, Bill Reiser from Contra, Vic Viper, the spaceship from Gradius, Twinbee from Twinbee, Dr. Cinnamon himself, the scientist from Twinbee, and Pintaro, the penguin from the Parodia series. It is a ridiculous game that is so good and is so much better than it should be. Like, this is just Konami making a love letter to themselves, which I kind of love the balls on that. Like, that's fantastic. But what they made is a really great game that takes a lot of different gameplay aspects and smushes them together, and somehow it works. The platforming gameplay is excellent. It plays a little bit like Contra. As you go through the levels, you're going to collect power-ups, which will allow you to transform Rickle into one of the other characters from the game. It's just wonderful. I love this game. I think it's a kind of a miraculous little title, and just cheers to Konami for making something this fun. I love the Kunio-kun franchise. I love everything about it, with the exception of the NES port of Renegade, which I guess is proto Kunio-kun, but I love all of the different games in the Kunio-kun universe. One of my favorites is Ike Ike Neketsu Hakibu, which is Kunio-kun ice hockey. So take what you loved about Nintendo World Cup and Super Dodgeball, slap some skates on it, give them a stick and a puck, and you get a Neketsu Hakibu, and it is so good. I wish this came to the States. We were supposed to get it. There was a planned release, but it never made it, unfortunately. And it's a shame because this game is magnificent. So it plays like a really solid ice hockey game, but it plays a little bit looser, a little bit sillier, and a lot more fun. I really enjoy this one. If you have a love of River City Ransom or Super Dodgeball or Nintendo World Cup or anything like that, you need to play this one. It is one of the best sports games on the NES. It's fast, it's fluid, it's fun, it's friggin' wonderful. I just love this game. Moon Crystal is a traditional platformer that takes a lot of inspiration from the Prince of Persia, and it is so readily apparent that it does. First off, the animations in this game are set to a ridiculous level. The number of frames that your character has to animate with is just astonishing how smooth this game looks. And the gameplay is wonderful. It doesn't play like Prince of Persia. It plays like a traditional NES platformer. It's a little bit Castlevania-ish in that regard, with Prince of Persia elements. So you're able to jump and grab onto the edge of a cliff and pull yourself up, or a platform that's moving up and down. You attack with a sword. It's just wonderful. Like, this is such a remarkable little game, and something that didn't really require any kind of like knowledge or reading to understand what to do. You just kind of go in and play, and it's a blast. It's a really solid game. It's a little bit short. So that could be why we never saw it released over here in the States, but if you have an opportunity to play this, check out Moon Crystal, because it is magnificent. As someone who already loves the Gradius series, the Portage series is something that I just adore because it's parody Gradius, and that's fantastic. So this is a game where you get to choose from 4 different flyers. You can choose Vic Viper from Gradius, who plays just like he does there, or Gradius, I don't know how to pronounce it. Pick your favorite pronunciation here and insert it whenever I say it the way you don't like. The Octopus, which plays like he does from Salamander. Twinbee, which plays like it is from Twinbee. And then Pentaru, who is a penguin, and he plays like the main spaceship from Gradius 2. It's a wonderful shmup. It's a fantastic shmup that does not take itself too seriously, that leans into the silliness and leans into the absolute kind of ridiculousness of this concept, and it's just a blast. Like, I absolutely adore this game. It's such a solid configuration, such a solid build, and such a fun game overall. I really think that this is one that, if it had come west, I think this would have been a big hit as well. Just something kind of silly and something a little bit lighter than what we normally got, and just a lot of fun. What a great title. Binary Land might be one of my favorite games on the Famicom because it's a action puzzler, which is such a great combination of genres. Like, it's a little bit like Lolo in that regard, but the thing I love about Binary Land is, well, for one, you have a timer, so you need to be thinking quickly. You can't just kind of sit around and try to figure it out and hem and haw and make decisions that way. You need to kind of be on top of your shit to get through it. As you're playing, there are going to be spiders moving around in the mazes, and it is your responsibility to move both penguins that you control simultaneously to the goal to reach it at the same time. If they get trapped in a web, they will be stuck, and you'll either have to go rescue them, or they will die, and you'll run into a web yourself, and you're done. You have a little bit of a projectile that you can use to kill the spiders and knock out the webs. You're going to find power-ups that make you move a little bit faster. And the really clever thing about this game is when they start to switch things up on the levels, where you need to really think about where you're going to position your various penguins in order to reach the goal at the same time. It is a bloody brilliant game, and something that to me is just such a remarkable little experience that could have been terrible, but it's just so fun. I never hear anyone talk about it, and that's an absolute shame because the game is magnificent. I love Binary Land. If you haven't played it, check it out. I ain't even going to attempt to pronounce this in Japanese. This is Kid Dracula. Everyone knows Kid Dracula. This was the one, out of everything on this list, this and Parodius are probably the two, or maybe YY World, are the ones where you go, we didn't overlook those, Jay. We just never had a chance to play them. But I'm telling you, Kid Dracula is something that needs to be played. This is such a phenomenal addition to the Castlevania mythos, while not being an addition to the Castlevania mythos at all, because it doesn't play anything like a Castlevania game. It really doesn't have anything to do with Castlevania other than the fact that you're playing like baby Dracula and going around and killing things. The platforming is fantastic. The gameplay is wonderful. You are able to shoot projectiles and power yourself up, collect health and things like that. The enemy designs are spectacular. The animation sequences in the game are wonderful. The music is fantastic. It's just a beautiful game that plays so ridiculously well and is such a strong addition to the Famicom library. And just if you are a fan of Konami, if you are a fan of Castlevania, this is something you owe to yourself to play because it's an alternative take on a franchise that we all love so much. It's absolutely brilliant. I realize as the years go on that the games that you may not have heard of on imported consoles becomes less and less because our knowledge base grows and grows. It's one of the cool things about the internet is we're able to share information at all times. Even with that said, I think there's still an opportunity to learn, to experience games for the first time. A lot of these games I had never played until a couple of years ago. Are there any Famicom games that you think people have overlooked that need to learn about? Let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a big thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you're new here. And until next time, folks, remember to play more games, stay square, and take care. I'll talk to you soon.